All right, so this is a 2019 covered wagon, tandem axle, 12 by 6 by 6.5 tall, cargo trailer. It's got the V front nose, so you get a little bit of extra room inside there beyond the 12 feet. It's got swing open back doors, and obviously it's got tandem axle and the diamond plate all around as far as all the trim. And the main feature is obviously the fact that it's got solar power equipped, and it also has water too. So give you a spin on the inside. It's been kitted out with some shelving, which you could remove if you wanted to, but it's very handy. It's already in there if you wanted to use that, if you wanted to empty it, whatever you like, but I'm not taking it out. And you can put all different sizes and shapes and stuff, and trim and all different types of things. If you look in the back, there's little cubby holes for stuff, and it'll come with the hoses and the power and the water and and an air compressor. So the heart of the system is obviously this. So let's take a look inside. All right, so we've got the trailer. You just take a look at it. It's not too dinged up. It's obviously got some scratches and bumps. I mean, things always hit the door on the inside for some reason. The brake battery is in perfect condition, and it's charged up. And you can power the inside from shore power through a regular extension cord there. And as you can see, one back here, I got hit when I was getting oil at a 5-minute oil change place. A lady backed into me, but it didn't affect it at all. Really just kind of bent the outside in, and no water gets in. I just pressure washed this. There's just some oil from a chainsaw that I laid down in there, but it doesn't leak, and everything's fine. That's a port I put in there to run the hose out if you wanted to close the doors. Roof doesn't leak. It's solid. The solar was not drilled through the roof. It was drilled through the side. So, and there's all the shelving, so you can just kind of see what the inside looks like. Give you another shot over here. You can see I put the solar panels on through the frame, through the roof, the side frame. So no puncturing through the roof. I don't like doing that. Comes with a spare, of course. And there's the nose cone shelving, which can be removed if you want, but it braces the trailer and actually makes it more stable. Everything's been screwed into the studs too. They're metal studs, of course. So, but you can always configure that different, but it's coming this way. So, and it's got a regular crank style vent, which works fine. It's got a screen on it. So the heart of the system is obviously the solar panel. So the 3 100-watt Renogy panels come down to a Victron MPPT charge controller, and that goes obviously fused through a heavy-duty Blue Sea 40-amp fuse going down into a 300 amp-hour lithium iron phosphate battery, which you can use the full capacity on, and I think it has 3,000 charge cycles. So if you depleted it completely 3,000 times, 80% of its capacity would remain, so it would still be a 240 amp hour battery. So it's like a 20-year battery. I've been running it 2 years, and I've never run it down under 40, so it's got a lot of charge cycles left. Then I've got a Ames 3,000 watt pure sine wave inverter, so you get clean power. I put it on an oscilloscope. It's as clean as shore power, so you can run any kind of tool or computer or whatever through it. And I'm including this Metabo
Compressor.
air compressor, as you can see. It starts up no problem off of the Ames. And I also have an L5, or is it L4? I don't know. You can see what kind it is. I'm not really an RV guy, but an outlet there, I think it's 20 amp, and you can like back charge houses. And that's what I was doing. I was back feeding houses with this whole system. So I'd run the whole house off of this, and it's silent. So I'd run that till the dryer input, and then I could turn all the lights and stuff on in the house. You couldn't run like air conditioning or anything, but you could just light it up and plug stuff in. So that was really my purpose for this, and that's what you can do. But you can use this for any other tool, up to a 15 amp tool. So it's pretty powerful, and it's 300 amp hour. So you can run a 1 amp tool for 300 hours or a 15 amp tool. Well, divide 300 by 15. That's how long you can run it. So do the math. But I'd work with it all day with pretty powerful tools, table saws, compound miter saws. I have a video where I go over all the things that I use on it. If you want to watch that video, I'll link it. You can check that out and what this thing will do in a day. But it gives you basically a 3 kilowatt generator that is silent. So you pull up and you're self-contained. And everything's hooked up to bus bars down here, and it's all done pretty well with heavy cables. I forget what gauge these are, but as you can see, there's all the bus bars, the positive and negative bus bar, a big old fuse going into the inverter with heavy cables going to the battery. There's an Anderson outlet there out that you can, plug something into if you wanted to. I also had a, off the 12-volt side, I had a refrigerator in here, right here where this table is. You can see the little feet. I'm keeping that, sorry. But you can run that off the 12-volt, and that's what I did. Because it takes less power than running it off an inverter. Why would you want to run a 110? But you could run a little 110 refrigerator if you wanted to, but the 12 volts are more efficient. And this is part of the 12-volt side. This is the biggest thing, is the water. I needed to have water on my job sites, so I have 55 gallons of water here. And I've got a 12-volt C-flow pump with an accumulator so it doesn't hammer, and I'll turn it on here. And I got a couple of valves here. That's the power. There's the valve. And as you can see, let me show you what kind of flow output you get here with the hose. You get a regular, there's a little air in the system, but you get like a regular garden hose. I mean, it's kind of weird because the video looks weird, but anyways. So you get a nice stream of water there. Also, I've got a purifier in the system, an A.O. Smith single stage, and you can get drinking water out of there. So, and I recommend you change that about every 6 months, the filter, but you get pure drinking water. Now, all I've ever put inside here is water from my house, softened water. So that's what's been running through this whole system. So everything's in really good shape because of that. And also, I'll include a hose so you can fill it up. There's a filter, the filter for drinking water, and then I'll throw in one of these RV filters, which you can get at Walmart, but it just helps clean the water when you go to put it in the tank. And so there you got it. It's been a pretty kept clean system for a long time, and this is obviously a food safe 55 gallon. So you're drinking okay water if you use a RV hose. So the 12-volt side, I've got a couple of 30 cigarette lighters, a couple of dinosaur USB outs, and also have the 300-watt inverter, which you can use for smaller stuff. Instead of turning on the big inverter, why turn on a 3,000-watt inverter if you're just going to charge like some DeWalt batteries or some Milwaukee batteries or some Flex batteries? Sometimes the AC charges are really sensitive, so plug it into the pure sine wave and you'll have no problem. I used to have that on there, but I took it down. And I also run the lights off of that. So if I turn this inverter on, you can see we just click on the light switch here, and you got lights inside here real nice. And that's what I use that one for. I wouldn't want to run this one just to do dinky stuff like that. This thing idles real low. If you left this on accident, it wouldn't take a lot. This would take more if you left it on, but I've left it on for a long time. It never drained my battery. The battery that I have has never been run down less than like 40%. It's usually in float. It stays that way. It's always filling up with the 3 panels and this charger. It's very efficient, and it keeps the batteries charged up really nice. So I haven't really had any problem with this at all. It's been autonomous for almost 2 years, meaning I have not plugged it into shore power. And the refrigerator was running too, so that's important. That running the whole time. I'll turn this back off and talk a little bit more about the 12-volt side of the system. So obviously I've got a fuse box here, and I've got the few things plugged in that I was talking about, the water pump and the small inverter. And you can, this fuse box will hold a bunch more devices, so you can plug in more 12-volt stuff. So, and a lot of times you got lights and other 12-volt things. You can just plug them into either the cigarette lighters, or you can put them right into the fuse box. And as far as the battery is concerned, it's, like I said, been autonomous. But let's say, for instance, you had like a hurricane, you had like 5 days of no sun or something like that, and your battery was running down. Then I also have a charger here that you can charge the battery with. So I will say I have not used that. I used it a couple times just to make sure that it would charge the system, but it's a small charger, and what happens is, what you'll do is you just simply use this extension cord here and plug into shore power, and that will energize a couple outlets that I put inside. And they're not really necessary, but I figured I'd have that just in case I was working and didn't want to use the power from the battery, but I always use the power from the battery. But there's a couple outlets inside here. So you got one on each side of the door here, and you could plug into those. And the good thing about having that is if you did need to charge your batteries, then just plug into that and just use a regular IEC cable here, like a computer cable. It goes into the outlet there and into this charger that I have. And that's meant for lithium iron phosphate batteries. So it will charge it correctly, and it will charge it fully and safely and do the proper job, topping it off and idling it out and all that kind of stuff. So if you needed to do that, I have not needed to do that in, like I said, 2 years. I have not done anything to this battery but let the solar charge it, and I've worked with it pretty much continuously. So it's been a really good system, very, very reliable, and I expect it to be for years to come. But if something goes wrong, you get a lot of shade, then you can just go ahead and plug this in if you wanted to top the batteries off for some reason. Other things that I can think of, over here I got a port on the side. So you open that up and you can run your cables and stuff out of there, and then close it all up in case it's raining and you don't want water to get inside the van. You can shut the door. So there you go, and that's pretty much the whole kit and caboodle. Obviously, again, dual axles, which is nice. If you blow a tire, then obviously you got a chance to not be dragging your ass down this road. Hopefully it doesn't take out the other tire. I got solar all around. I got these, little lights that I got from Harbor Freight. They're everywhere. This thing lights up like LaGuardia at night. And if you walk by them, they're, obviously they got motion detectors, and it lights up, so keeps people from hanging around your trailer, hopefully. Anyways, so then that's probably about all I got to tell you. And then once again, not a flat pack, but like a 9-pin. The doesn't work on my truck because I got a recall on my freaking trailer package, and they don't have the part at Ford. But all right, so the lights do work though. So that's the trailer. So if you need more details on it, just give me a call and talk to you more about it.